Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for July 28th, 2017. For your Friday, we have this area of low pressure off to our southwest that is going to be moving toward the region today and moving along a boundary that's still to our south. But I do think the much of this day is going to be dry for most areas. The exception is going to be right along that boundary just to the south here across parts of Delaware. Just extreme southern areas, I think, during the day. The rest of us are probably going to remain just cloudy today, or at least for most of the day until we get to later in the afternoon and evening. And then all of this that's out in this area will start moving toward the region and building in as cyclogenesis is occurring just over the Delmarva. So we're going to go a little forward from this point and show you what we're talking about. Once this cyclogenesis occurs, which is a interaction between an upper level low that's going to be diving down into this system right here and really getting this to explode south of the region, we're going to get some very heavy rainfall that's going to come with this system. Now the question has always been all week, how far north does this get? And the models are back and forth of what they were projecting. We did actually lower amounts a little bit for the northern areas. Northern areas weren't really expecting to get too much out of this anyway. We lowered projections up here in this area and made it a little bit more realistic. I think once you get to our central areas, maybe from like I-78 from Harrisburg to Allentown to Newark and New York City, you get south of that line. I think that's when you get into your significant rainfall amounts, and by significant I mean anything over an inch of rain. So that's probably your 1 inch line right there. Once you get below that, you're gonna have some down toward the Mason-Dixon line here, the Pennsylvania and Maryland border, you're going to have 2 to 3 inches of rain in spots. In some areas, might even get more than that, locally higher amounts, especially across Delaware and southern New Jersey with this heavy rainfall. And then we go a little bit further from this here, and you can see it starting to continue to wrap up here as we get into the overnight period on Friday night, and it starts to finally drift east and then southeast. And clears out of here on Saturday. But I do think most of the day on Saturday for most areas is going to be a wet go at it. Let's go over to the NAM high-res future simulator radar. I'll shut this off at noon, and just want to show you again, we're along the warm front down here in the southern areas. You could have a few showers, and maybe up in the far northern parts of north central Pennsylvania, showers or a thunderstorm. The only problem I'm having with the thunderstorm aspect of things today is we're going to have a northeast wind. That is not very good and conducive for thunderstorms. So I know the National Weather Service has dimensions of thunderstorms over in a lot of areas, especially in these areas down to the southeast. I think if you're going to see it, it's going to be south and east of that line right there, somewhere down in here. But still, with that northeast wind, I'm not really buying that's really not conducive for thunderstorm development. So we're going to kind of steer away from the thunderstorm talk and just consider the heavy rain aspect of things here. Going a little bit further again, our 2 p.m. here's that line of maybe showers, maybe thunderstorms moving up to the north here, and then when we get in later in the day toward 5 o'clock, we start seeing isolated stuff popping up here, and this is for the most part, except for Delaware and extreme far western areas, this is pretty much it for our entire coverage area. Just still remaining cloudy, just that isolated to widely scattered threat of a shower popping up. And then once we get into the evening hours is when we start getting that southwesterly push with that low pressure starting to bomb south of us here. Now this is going to bring in periods of rain in the evening, and it's going to become steady and then locally heavy as this pushes off the north, and you can see that doing that. This is now midnight, and then going to the wee hours of the morning, 2 a.m., you can see some pretty heavy rain in some spots here, circling around this area, low pressure that's off to our south. And then once we get into Saturday morning, it's starting to taper off to just showers here, maybe intermittent showers at that. But you're still going to have showers around most of the day, and you see that just rotating, continue to rotate around this area of low pressure. Here's 2 p.m. and then here's 5 p.m. You do start seeing a shift a little bit further southeast, but you still have these scattered showers around all day. So I think Saturday is going to be one of those days where your heavy rain threat's probably over in the morning, but then you get into just a persistent on and off showery threat the entire day that will continue as that precipitation continues to spin around that area, low pressure off to our south until it finally pulls southeast. That's when you start getting some improvement. I think it's going to be during the course of the evening on Saturday. You'll have some improvement from northwest to southeast. And by the time we get to Sunday, we should be high and dry. We are going to allow for an isolated shower to pop up here on Sunday, but I do think you're much improved as this system consolidates further southeast. And then there's a look at Sunday. It's now offshore. The only areas I'm really concerned about for any of that pop-up showers for the most part would be right along the shore points. It looks like probably still going to stay pretty cloudy here on Saturday, those areas, but further inland you're probably going to get partly cloudy skies here at a time at least on, or for a time at least on Sunday. And then once we get into Monday, this system is going to finally pull away. Still a partly cloudy day across the region. Maybe a leftover shower again here by the shore if this is close enough. But then after that we get into partly to mostly sunny skies. Tuesday we're going to start warming up a little bit. High pressure off of the south. This is not the most ideal position, but it's still going to get winds in from the southwest, and that means the temperatures are going to go back up. Instead of being in the 70s and 80s and lower 80s, we're talking about temperatures getting back in the middle 80s, maybe mid to upper 80s in some spots. That's on Tuesday, and then the same thing here on Wednesday. Wednesday should be a dry day, maybe watching for an isolated thunderstorm for the far northern areas, but elsewhere is partly cloudy. Probably going to be closing the 90-degree mark down here by Philadelphia by Wednesday. And then we have a cold front that's going to be moving through on Thursday. It's going to have scattered showers and thunderstorms with it as this front drapes to the south here and pushes through. So some scattered showers late in the day on Thursday, so most of the day is dry until you get later in the afternoon, evening, when that normal threat of thunderstorms come in ahead of this cold front. So it will be another warm day here again on Thursday. And then after that, after the cold front leaves, it sets up a nice dry Friday behind it as high pressure builds in. I'm Eastern PA Weather 30 meteorologist Bobby Martich. That is your outlook for July 28th, 2017. Have a great Friday.